Hey, it's Akriash here. It's another book review today. I've actually read 2 books already since the quarantine. Started several others, but I have finished 2 of them. If you hear noises in the background, it's just my roommate. She's playing Final Fantasy right now. And if I step off screen, I've gone to help her with a battle. So. She just gave me a look. Alright, but my book review today is My Immovable Object. This is the second book for the Haven series by Michelle Kay. I've done a review for the first one. I will link that one later. But this is the second one for the series. 2 out of 4, I believe, she said. I still have to get the third one so I can read it. I have not gotten that one yet. But this one, I almost didn't read it because I read the first chapter. Great. Second chapter. Great. Third chapter. Identical to the second chapter. Like, word for word. It is the exact same chapter. I have messaged her to find out if it was intentional or not, as I do not know. But she hasn't gotten back to me yet. But, she's got her own life to deal with and the quarantine and whatnot, so. But this book focuses on one of the characters named Alistair. He is, no spoiler now, he's a strong boy. Like, he doesn't even attempt to do anything and he can hurt somebody, completely unintentional. That is him here. That is Alistair. It actually starts off with him getting put into lockdown because of a character we meet in the first book. She's basically the den mother of where these kids stay. And she seemed, a bit crazy, but, kind of okay in the first one. And I was cool with it. I got into the first couple chapters of this, and she went from she's okay to I want to punch her in the throat. Because the way she treats Alistair it's not acceptable. I do not approve, and I don't know. I want to strangle her. And the problem is no one else seems to see what she's doing. So yeah, it's upsetting. And because of the way she's treating him, he ends up dealing with a lot of mental issues. I mean, when you grew up spending your life hurting people without meaning to, you're going to have some issues. This other guy here, that is Luca. He's new to the compound. He's basically their new professor for transmittable diseases. So he's CDC basically. And before you actually meet him in the group, Alistair meets him outside. It's kind of interesting watching them. They go at each other. They are sassy. They are rude. It's like the ultimate. Alistair is the ultimate Cinderella when it comes to him. And Luca just eats it up. He does. He's a complete sadist from what I can tell. It's actually kind of impressive though. They actually don't get together for a very large portion of the book because Alistair is being difficult and Luca is letting him be difficult because it's making Alistair suffer. There was actually an upsetting part because they end up going to a small town. Obviously there's something happening if the CDC guy is brought in, but They end up in a town. It literally reads cult, like the back of your hand. It reads cult, and you actually end up meeting a child. He's just a sweet boy. He did not deserve what happened to him in the book. I don't even want to think about what might have happened to the other children in the book. I don't. And considering the character that's in charge of this operation, I want to punch her in the throat. If she got her hands on any of them, I have no hope for any of them, and they deserve so much better. Seriously, want to kill her. Alistair should just choke her out. But, yeah, so that was depressing. You do, of course, have, you know, the other characters in here. There's obviously Sabine and Cole and Bastian, Berlin, all them. The ones you met in the first book. They are still in here. Berlin is still a religious nut job. Sabine is still a sarcastic witch boy that likes to torture him. Cole and Bastian are just as weird as ever. Milo's even back, and he's getting better from the first book, and if you've read the first book, you'll understand. So, all in all, the improvements are getting better. There are some grammatical errors, not as many apart from, the two chapters that are identical. It's easy to look over if you're not like me and have a mental twitch. It's well written. It's got a lot more drama in it, considering the two main characters in this one are drama queens. Like, lost their freaking mind drama queens. I mean, Cole and Bastian were a little special, but they got nothing. They seem like two little sugar puffs next to Alistair and Luca. These two are just fucking insane. But they do end up together. Luca messes up, and it nearly causes everything to go to hell. You'll understand why that's funny to me later. But yeah, it nearly causes everything to go to hell. Causes Alistair to have an unintentional threesome because Luca screwed up. One of their teammates, well, two of their teammates nearly die. I'm not telling you who. There's a whole cult out there. Their boss is crazy. And it's just all going to hell. So yeah. It was actually really addictive. Because we'll warn you though, like in the first one, starts off bang, smut. Very first chapter. Right there. Just like in the first book, I mean, you're not gonna miss it. Bang. I will say though that there is not as much sex in this as I thought there would be, considering the type of character Alistair is. But he held out. He was a strong boy. In multiple senses of the word. But yeah, so there actually ended up not being as much smut as I assumed. Not until like the end of the book. It was like right here at the beginning and then at the end. And in the middle it was just him making things difficult for everybody. Yeah. Luca, though, I'm still on the fence on how I feel about him. Overall, he seems like a cool guy. I mean, he can deal with Alistair, which is something special in itself. And he's got his own unique abilities. Um, he's intelligent, he's witty, he's sarcastic, he's a really well-created character, he's well-rounded. At first, it was almost like when I was reading about him, I was like, oh, is he a vampire? Really? Really? He's not a vampire. He's not, as far as I know. But, for all that, man was still an idiot. He's a complete moron. And I still don't know if he's trustworthy or not, considering how it ends. There's clearly something bigger going on. I don't know which side he falls on yet. So that's going to be a wait and see. I did tell you this does cross over with another series, one written by Tess Barnett. And it does. It actually crosses over through Sabine. Because there's a tie between Sabine's character and a character from one of the other characters in 12th Day. Apart from the original tie being announced in here, you don't really know much about how much they're going to go crossing over each other yet. Like, it basically, they just mention the character and not much else. So, I'm guessing around here is where it starts to cross over. I have read the second book of the other one. I will talk more about that on that video when I do it. I don't know how much further it will cross over, or will it stay as it is. I have not read the third books of them yet. I have to get those. That was the third one of the other one. Overall, well written. Still waiting to hear back about the second and third chapters. Characters are still well developed. New characters are introduced to keep the plot going. Still on the fence about some of those. Some of the characters that you think you're going to like from the first book, you might want to reconsider later on, considering how the situation goes. It's a really good plot turner, honestly. There's a nice twist at the end there that I enjoyed. Lots of some characters that we don't want to lose. They're just too innocent and sweet. And it leaves you really depressed about an entire population of an entire town. Because I honestly don't know if they were helped, if they were released, well, I don't know, because considering the way the lead agent was acting, yeah. So, you're definitely left hanging on the fence there, and it leaves some very deep concerns about an entire town of over 400 people. Yeah. But the development, Alistair finding, a little bit out about himself, seeing him grow, finding someone that can match his attitude, even control it sort of, is impressive, even if I'm not sure where I stand on him. Good or bad, I'm not sure. Overall, definitely 2 thumbs up. I do recommend it. Again, I will be linking the video for the first one in this. I will absolutely love it if you comment. Let me know what you think if you've read it. If you want to discuss the book or any of the others that I have done videos on, feel free to message or comment. If you are an author like Michelle, You're welcome to message me again as well. Suggest your books or even suggest books of friends. I would be happy to do reviews on them. Just gotta let me know who you are or what book you would like done. So, thanks for checking in. Again, My Immovable Object by Michelle K. Disclaimer, if you're not over 18, don't buy it. Alright, so like, subscribe, check out my other page. I will see y'all later. Peace.